Now let us add some more functionality to our user component. Let us add a backlink to our user component so that when this backlink is clicked, the user is redirected to the /users URL. That means the users component. Let's discuss that one more time. So if we are in /user/1 and if we click on the backlink, we should be taken to /users. That means the users component. So in user.js, what we'll do is we'll add a link to /users and we'll specify the text as back, and let's close the link component. And to use the link component, we need to import it. So let's add link in the import statement over here. Let's look at the output now, and you can see that we have a backlink over here now. Let's click on it, and you can see that clicking on that took us back to /users, which renders the users component. Let me click on user2 now, and let me click on the backlink now, and let me do the same for user3 now, and let me click on the backlink now, and you can see that our navigation from the users component to the user component and back to the users component is working correctly now. Let's look at another way to navigate to another component. To the same user component, let us add a home button. Clicking on the home button should take us back to the home component, and the URL should change to just localhost:3000/. So let's do that. So I'm going to add some space here, and I'm going to add a button here whose text is home. So I'm going to type home here, and I'm going to add an event handler to the onClick event. I'm going to specify onClick equals handle home. Now let us write code for the handle home event handler. So I'm going to type const handle home equals, let's make it an arrow function, and let's specify the curly braces for the function body. And to perform a redirect from within an event handler, we can modify the history of the browser. To get a hold of the history of the browser, we can use the useHistory hook that React Router DOM gives us. So we can type const history equals useHistory. In this case, VS Code has automatically added the useHistory to the import statement over here. So we can use history in this event handler now. So I'm going to type history.push, and I'm going to specify the URL that we want to navigate to now, which is the root URL as the argument to the push function. So what we have done is we have added a home button, and in its event handler we have written history.push and specified the path to which we want to redirect to now. Let's save the file and look at the output. As you can see here, we have a home button here now. Let me click on the home button, and you can see that we have been redirected to the root URL, which is localhost:3000, and we can also see that the home nav link has been highlighted, and we are also seeing the content of the home component. In this example, we have to discuss one minor but important point. Let's copy this line of code and move it into the event handler like this. We are using this history variable only over here, so it makes sense to move this line of code within the event handler over here. But if we do that, we will get an error. Let's look at the error now. Let's go to the web page, and you can see that we have an error, and the error states that the React hook useHistory is called in function handle home that is neither a React function component nor a custom React hook. Let's read that one more time. The React hook useHistory is called in function handle home that is neither a React function component nor a custom React hook. There is one important constraint that React hooks have, and that constraint is that React hooks like useHistory over here, or useParams, or useState, or useEffect that we have discussed previously, all of them have to be used in the outermost block within a function component. So if you take a look at this code, this function user is a function component. So this React hook over here, it has to be in the outermost block within the function component, which is over here. And if we do that, the error goes away and everything starts working again. So when we are using hooks, it is always advisable to just write the hooks code at the top of the function. If we make a habit of doing that, then we will not run into errors like the error that I showed you a few seconds back.